Michael,
Watch.
are you ready for some football?
I love the Patriots.
What is going on, you guys? It's Jesse Almeida here from YouTube and from Beantown Takes. And if you guys can't tell, I'm home from my first admission to the hospital. My first steps are pretty much done at this point. They deemed that I was good enough to go home for a week, and then I'm going to be having my big surgery on my Crohn's disease. I'm a little nervous, obviously, going to that surgery, but I had to have a surgical procedure done while I was in the hospital this time around too, so been there, done that now. Now I have a kind of a thought process of what being in surgery is like, and obviously this is a more bigger surgery coming up, but I feel pretty good about it now. A little bit more than I was before going into the hospital 10 days ago. I just got out yesterday, and we're getting there. We're getting there. So for the time being, got some reaction videos for you guys while I'm not able to attend games. Celtics play game 1 today of the second round. I'm upset that I can't go. I really am upset. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I really wanted to do one game each round, and obviously got some a pick line in me right now because they're giving me TPN. That's the nutrients through the bag, through the IVs that I have to have for the surgery, and obviously can't happen. Can't happen. Can't go to a game this round. That stinks. If everything goes well and so on and so forth, maybe by the third round or the finals, hopefully. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is right now. It just stinks. Celtics just swept Brooklyn. I can't believe they really just swept Brooklyn. And that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Patriots and their offseason. And honestly, guys, Patriots did not do what they had to do in order to stay as a contender. You know, last year, Mike and I made a bet on the Patriots saying that he picked the under 500, I picked the over 500 because based off the move that the Patriots made last year, I thought that the Patriots were a contending team and that they were a team that could win. And it came to show that they were over 500. They went 10-7. So I won that bet, but at the same time, they were first round exit and they didn't even compete in the playoffs. So that obviously showed that they had a long ways to go still, and they didn't really address anything that they needed in the offseason this year. So overall, a failure of an offseason, and that what brings us to this video here. Are the Patriots becoming one of the worst teams in the AFC? I think yes. I think they are like the 11th or 12th best team in the AFC. And honestly, if Mike was to take the under this year, he probably wins that bet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He probably wins that bet. Um, I'm not gonna be that stupid and take that bet because I have them going under 500 to this coming season. So I'm not gonna be dumb and take that bet again. Trust me, he still has to go there in a clown outfit because, as you guys saw, we have video proof that we made that bet. So he still got to do it this year, regardless of what happens this year, the Patriots. So yeah, let's just hop into this video and leave a like if you guys enjoy. Subscribe right now, please. We've been going up rapidly because of the Jason Tatum video. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support recently. It really means the world to me. I I really think 1,000 subscribers is on the horizon. I really, really do. Please recommend this videos to your friends, families, whatever. Especially if you Boston sports fans. I mean, this is all we do. We bring out Boston sports content all the time. So whether it's me at a game, me reacting to a video, me talking on my thoughts on the Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, or Red Sox, or even if we are going to meet an athlete. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do in the future after surgery. So there's this is just a little hiccup in the road. So please just hit that subscribe button, please. My website is in the description for articles and all that. That's in the description as well. If you want to check that out, go right ahead. I already put an article out on the Patriots offseason. And if you guys want to donate to us going to these events or whatever, my Venmo is in the description as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to cover right now. Let's react to NBC Boston, and let's see what their thoughts are on the Patriots with their offseason.
See, guys, it's not just the Browns that are making big moves. They're not messing around this offseason. Of course, we just said Browns added not just Watson, but Amari Cooper. Raiders making a huge trade yesterday. They acquired my guy, Devontae Adams. He's joining Chandler Jones in Vegas. Broncos traded for Russell Wilson. Chargers acquired J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack.
This doesn't even say that Miami has
which was their Achilles
heel.
And the Bills, oh yeah, by the way, they just signed Von Miller. Chiefs also added Juju Smith-Schuster to a one-year, $10.75 million deal, which we're going to get to at a point, but I was like, why go to the Patriots have just paid that for Juju Smith-Schuster? They can use somebody like that.
Can we just stop and applaud Ted Karras for making that list right there? I mean, that was a lot of star power on that list. Ted Karras is on that list.
Ted Karras is on the list because they needed an offensive lineman. Andy, how many teams right now are the Pats better than in the AFC?
I'm going to say 3 or 4. It's a handful. I mean, you have your obvious ones, although we're hearing good things about the Jets in free agency, and we'll see where Zach Wilson. But I think
they had a good draft.
Jets, Texans, you feel really confident. And then you start to compare yourself to some of the other teams, and you're like, well, let's see how the quarterback situations shake out in some of these places. But the scary thing is there's teams that were behind you that got significantly better, non-playoff teams like the Browns and the Broncos. And then there's teams that were in front of you, like the Chiefs and the Raiders, or equal to you in the playoffs. In the case of the Raiders, the Bills ahead of you, they've gotten significantly better. So
can we also include the Colts?
And some of the leaders are just
they just got Stephon Gilmore, and they actually got
I don't think it's crazy to say the Patriots are like the 11th best team in the AFC right now.
Ooh, and they play a lot of these teams, guys, this season. They've got them on the schedule. First and foremost, they will have to play the Browns, Phil. The Browns, I'd have to imagine, I don't know how you can say they're not better than the Patriots right now, right?
If you look at their roster on paper, it's a better roster.
Right.
Totally. I think where the Patriots are going to have an advantage week to week is on the coaching staff because of Bill Belichick. But we'll see how that shakes out across the board in terms of how.
No. Okay, this is where you people lose me. This is really where you people lose me. Yes, Bill Belichick is a good coach and all that. Yes, he is. But you got to realize all he's doing is making the play call. Okay? The players are the ones that are playing the game out there. Bill Belichick is only the coach. I really don't know if coaching means anything in the NFL or not. I personally think yes and no. Yes, it does matter, and no, it doesn't matter. But to say that they have the advantage in the coaching, yeah, they do have the advantage in the coaching. But like in the end of the day, the coaching isn't the ones that are executing the plays out on the field. They're just making the play calls. So how does that play a factor in terms of talent? You know what I mean? It doesn't. It really doesn't. So as an overall talent, you are like this 11th or 12th best AFC team. which means you don't make the playoffs.
How the offensive coordinator situation breaks down and who's coaching the offensive line when they've just potentially lost 3 starters this offseason. So Andy's right. I mean, you could throw the Chargers on the list of teams that did not make the playoffs last year, Tom, that have gotten significantly better as well.
Right.
The other day we talked about it. The Patriots
How about the Raiders,
9-4 last year and claiming that number 1
the Raiders
seed for
were
a
in
brief
the
period
playoffs,
of
my
time.
bad.
In some ways, really might have been misguiding for us.
Miami got better.
There were a variety of circumstances.
Indianapolis
You're exactly
got better.
right. And they feel that way too, Trenny, within the walls. There are plenty of important people there who think that they got an idea when the team got to 9-4 and the way they responded down the stretch that they weren't really where they needed to be mentally. And I still don't think they're good. Look, they're between 8 and 18 over the NFL. 8 at the very best, and that's because of what they did. But when we talk about head coach, that's the only place you're looking at in the entire team where you say, I'd rather have that guy. He would be the number 1 pick. He's better than everybody else in the NFL. Mac Jones isn't. Shaq Mason.
Really? You guys need to hop. Did he just say Bill Belichick's like still the best coach in the NFL? I don't think he is. I think he's like I think he's in the top 5. But to continue saying he's the best coach in the league, I don't think he is. I really don't. I really don't.
Mason might have been better than most. He's gone. Kyle Duggar, yeah, maybe. Devin McCourty, maybe better than all but a dozen. But you just can't find Judon, sure. But
don't mind my hair, guys. I was in the hospital
say he would
10
start
days.
Anywhere in the NFL.
And I haven't had a chance to take a shower yet to have a pick line.
When it was Edelman and Gronkowski.
And I've been in the hospital for 10 days.
There were a lot.
We have to figure out how to cover this up
still. A lot of what the league is doing right now, when we're seeing so many aggressive teams. The Chiefs getting aggressive, getting their quarterback, winning a Super Bowl. The Bucs obviously getting aggressive. The Rams more aggressive than anybody. They're building their rosters with superstars and then filling out the rest with guys on rookie contracts. Where the Patriots have built, Trenny, is through the middle, right? They've got these middle-tier veterans everywhere where the rest of the league is going with the really high-paid guys and the cheaper guys that are on rookie deals.
Andy, where does this offseason rank overall for you in Patriots history?
F.
Like when you kind of take
as of right now,
F.
As of right now, I think on the totality, and you include the coaching situation, which Phil brought up, which is, it's like, yeah, Bill's there, and Bill I trust. I don't know about anybody else who I really trust. You lose Josh McDaniels, the whole Joe Judge, Matt Patricia
I don't trust
thing,
Bill, really, to be honest with you.
I think it's the worst offseason I can remember. They
I
haven't
agree.
added any talent. They lost arguably their best defensive player in J.C. Jackson, or one of their top 2 defensive players, to a not crazy contract. They lost arguably their best.
Yeah, you could have signed J.C. Jackson. You really could have. But you didn't want to pay him. That's the thing. And it's just like all that paying you did last year, if you're not going to continue that route, what was the point of last year's offseason, really?
Best offensive player to a trade for a 5th-round pick. They chose to move on from Shaq Mason, and
that was
all
horrible.
The holes we talked about still feel like holes, and maybe you ran in place by keeping some of your leadership, the Devin McCourtys, the Matthew Slaters of the world, but I don't really see where you got better on the sideline. I don't see where you got better on the field. So a team that last we saw them was getting their butts kicked in the postseason feels like it's fallen further behind in a bad offseason.
What's wild about it is that they're choosing to do things that make them actively worse. Not McDaniels, look, he was going to go someplace, but actively choosing to move on from Shaq Mason, actively choosing to move on from Kyle Van Noy. And those are 2 of your top 3 players on either side of the ball last year. And they chose to do that. They chose to get worse on a team that has so much coaching staff uncertainty.
Well, every other team got better too.
Look, Robert Kraft,
dude, I don't.
Kraft,
why you?
Anybody who's a decision maker down there is turning on the TV every single day, and they're listening to this drumbeat of what are they doing.
I don't know if this video was before the Devontae Parker deal.
Piece of paper too with the pros and cons on it.
This was definitely before the draft, and honestly, your draft not so great either.
For
I would say a D+ at best.
200 million users.
And I wish that someone had an answer on whether or not Bill has to provide one to them, or they just say, don't worry, he surely knows what he's doing.
Your first-round pick was
curious to me too. I mean, there are guys
6-year senior.
It seems like,
at the age of 24.
Schuster numbers. Like, Phil, that doesn't seem
like
insane.
What?
1 year, $10.75 million, or like even a Gunnar Olszewski. The report out was, well, they had talks with him, but he decided to go with the Steelers. Is that because the Patriots just really didn't want him, or was he like, you know what? Whatever's going on here, I'm out.
When you see numbers like that, even though the Patriots cap situation is where it is, this isn't about the cap. This is about real money budgets and real spending. And when the numbers are as low as they are in those circumstances, that tells you they just didn't want those guys. Because they have 100%. The ability to Tom's point, they are choosing not to spend. They're not choosing.
There's no such thing as a cap in
they're choosing not to spend.
There's a way around the cap.
They are not having their foot on the gas the way they did at the end of Brady's tenure, as they did last offseason. This is an approach that is, it's the original Bill Belichick approach, it feels like, right? Because the end of Brady's tenure, things did get more aggressive. Things obviously were aggressive last year. They're back to 08, 09, 10, it feels like to me, in terms of how they're building.
Smart way to build, dumb way to build.
Dumb way to build.
Time will tell. When they took over in 2000,
dumb way to build.
Took over in 2000, Andy, you'll remember this as well, covering the team. It needed to be a 4-year process. They won the 2001 Super Bowl the same way they won the 2018 Super Bowl. It fell from the sky, and there were a bunch of circumstances that helped them get to it. But they weren't that good a team that year. They weren't that good a team in 2011 either. That was another Super Bowl they got to and almost won. But that was the coaching staff, and it was Brady. And I think that
No, it was Brady. No. We need to stop right now. We need to stop this right now. We have to acknowledge greatness when it's there. It was Brady more than it was Bill. Let's stop this. We need to stop this. It's because it's clear as day. It has never been much more clear that it was Brady more than it was Bill. Because Bill had a losing season with Cam Newton, and his first season without Brady, he had Cam Newton. Losing season. Last year, he was like, okay, in order for me to at least have a winning record, I have to have talent. He goes out and gets some talent. Has a 10-7 season, but bounced in the wild card round and got destroyed in the wild card round. Now, he does nothing. He doesn't really do anything to improve this roster. He doesn't add talent after what you could argue an overachieving season. Because I'm going to say there were a lot of teams that had injury problems last year. And the Patriots took advantage of some of those. So you could say that the Patriots should have finished 9-8 or 8-9 or even 7-10. You could argue that they should have had a losing season last year. But they didn't. They made it to the wild card round. Got their doors blown off them. And you got to at least figure, okay, I mean, we got blown out in the wild card round, but we still made it to the playoffs, regardless of the slow ending they had last year. We still made it to the playoffs. And we had a time where we were just winning games. And you don't add to that? That's on Bill. That's on you. If the whole plan was to retool, why wouldn't you add this year? And be part of those contending teams and whatnot? I really don't get that. Again, like I said in the article, there's still time to add free agents, obviously. There's Jarvis Landry out there. There's Odell Beckham Jr. Even though he's hurt, he could probably show up at the end of the year if you are making a playoff run. But if they do nothing the rest of the way, it's an embarrassment. And that's an indictment on Bill. And then if you don't make the playoffs this year, and you do not contend in the playoffs this year, I think this tarnishes Bill's legacy. 1,000%. We have to start thinking, is the players that are making the plays out there. Bill Belichick is only calling what plays to call. And he's putting the players out there in order to succeed. That's all he's doing. He's not out there executing the plays against the defense.
Right now, this is what the process is. But you don't have Brady to bail you out and get you to 10 or 11 wins. This is like they were rebuilding last year. They're kind of rebuilding again this year. You've mentioned the word bridge a couple times. It just is. We ain't used to it. You hate it.
I think it's a slow, measured approach. If I were to look at this from afar and try to spin it positive, I'd say they're taking a slow, measured approach. Like Bill thinks he has a franchise quarterback. Like he's going to be here for a while, and he's building for the long haul the smart way. So
you can't do that.
My PR
because if you don't win, why would you stay?
That's the reason why I mentioned 08, 09, 10. Like you had your first iteration of the dynasty, you came down a little bit before you built the next one. Well, now you're coming down off the second iteration of the dynasty, and you're hoping to slowly build towards the third.
When I was looking for a positive today, I said maybe this is all just part of a long process that they're planning for the long haul, not the short term.
It's gonna do it. Again, go read my article. That's on the website right now. That's in the description down below. The website, obviously. Leave a like. Subscribe right now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out the website where that article is on my thoughts on the Patriots offseason. The link is in the description down below. If you scroll down and you click on, I think it's called A Joke of an Offseason. That's what the article is called. Go check it out. Hit that picture, and then it will bring you to the Patriots page, and then it will be the first article on the screen. So go check it out. Again, link is in the description down below. If you guys want to donate for us to go to future events after I get better, anything helps. Appreciate all the love and support. Again, go hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for all of the love and support. In Bill we trust. I don't. That's going to do it. Until the next video, it's been Jesse, and I'm gone. Later.